Women that have been online for a while have felt this sense of invisibility, like there's a veil. People can't quite see you, they can't quite feel you. The clients you know are wanting to work with you, cannot find you. And why is that the case, right? Why do you feel like there's something blocking you from being fully seen, from cutting through the noise? And whether you're noticing this or not, it has all to do with your voice and the way you've accidentally lost your voice through the noise, through the strategy, through the structure. It's easier to make clients in person, isn't it? You probably felt it. You meet someone at a yoga festival or at a Pilates class or on your morning coffee run, and they instantly are obsessed with you. They ask how they can work with you. They want to know more because your energy comes through, right? And online, because of the nature of the things we see, the amount of people, in a way, competing for attention, you started believing you had to compete too. It's a jungle out here, right? We have to fight for our space. We have to take up space and figure out a way for people to find us. And we do this with all the strategies and the hooks and the templates and the sound. And now there's all these new AI doing whatever they're doing. But this is just another scarcity based belief. This is just another belief that attention is limited and that there's only so few that can be seen and that it's a jungle out there and we need to fight. This is so deeply rooted in the masculine, in the competition, in the energy of not everyone gets to have it. Not everyone gets to build what they want. Not everyone gets to have a space, right? Gets a spot. And that is so no longer true. It's just not. When I was young and I wanted to be a pop singer, it felt as though to be an actress, to be a pop singer, there were really only a few, and you had to be chosen by a random dude in an office deciding that you're marketable or you're worthy. And it was a little bit that way, right? With the billboards and with TV, and there were only a few people that had access to media, that had access to attention. And there were some locked doors. You needed to be innovative to find your way. But what happened with social media is it actually completely changed the game. Everyone gets to have their own little micro pocket of a market. They get to own marketplace in a way and own attention to the room where people completely choose to walk in and stay and belong. And the game is just not the same. And if we're still operating from that space of limited attention, scarcity, not enough space for everyone, you need to fight for your right to be here. We're just repeating a story that's old and that's no longer even valid to what's true and what's in front of us, right? We have the incredible power and chance today to live on a remote island, which is where I do live on a remote island, and still impact with our voice people that are sitting across the ocean from us. And this has nothing to do with competing to be seen. It has nothing to do with money wound or visibility wound. It has all to do with choosing the game you play. And if you play the game of attention and you're fighting and you're competing, you'll always be stuck in that loop of editing yourself, scripting yourself, cutting yourself in small micro pieces of who you truly are for people to maybe see you and maybe find you. But these are not the people I buy from. These are not the people I vibe with, and these are not my clients. The world that I build and the world that I live in is a world where women are building incredibly powerful businesses with a handful of incredibly powerful other women or people they support. They're not fighting for attention. They're just liberating their voice truly. And what that means is learning how to actually translate your in-person magic, your in-person energy to the online space. Learning how to actually say what you want to say and create content in a way that doesn't create so much friction. Because there is nothing more limiting than a process that adds friction to something that would have otherwise been effortless. If you ask me, I've accidentally fallen in those traps so many times, and I would think I know better than this, but we all know things and we don't realize how many tiny traps we fall into when it comes to building visibility and building a brand online, right? And the reality is, talking to people is what makes business real. It's what makes you relate to people, it's what makes you connect to people. And social media is just a very big conversation. It's just a very big space to speak and to be seen and to be heard and to be part of the rooms where you actually feel like home. You don't feel like a stranger in the room. I had a conversation yesterday with a corporate background person that booked an advisory call with me, which already felt odd. But sometimes, out of curiosity, you just go and see what this is about. And it's just not my world. I didn't go to corporate. I never had a real job, actually, ever. I worked for 3 months in a startup in sales because I'm great at sales since I'm 15 years old. And that was my only little glimpse in what corporate offices and world looks like. I've built a brand and a business completely outside of any structure that was, what the world was built upon. Like, I just kind of made it up as I went. And every single person that pays me as their business advisor is also someone that makes it up. Like, we're all making it up. And this is the great thing about this. Like, you're making it up as you go. You're looking at who you are and what you're good at and what's your essence, and you're making it up. You're making up the way you can support people, the way you can be seen, the way you can be heard, the way you can actually have impact. Maybe you're incredible with designs and visuals or photography or copywriting or talking. And we have the incredible power nowadays to build a career and have impact from doing something that is literally natural to us, that is second nature. All the things that I used to be judged upon, talking loudly, talking fast, asking too many questions, being too much of a dreamer. I need to come down to reality, I was told many times. Well, these are the reason people want me in their corner now when they're building their vision, because I don't think in boxes, I think in expansion. I ask questions that go deep so we actually get to the point of what is here to be unearthed. I talk fast so I can be quite dense in my advisory session and get you 8 months of work done in 15 minutes. I've heard this many times with clients that are just like, whoa, like this was a lot, but I feel like we just skipped a whole timeline. We skipped months. Your strengths are what you can build your brand around, your business around. It doesn't have to be following any sort of template, any sort of way. And that's why even the way that I guide my clients in business and brand advisory is not templated. Like, I make it up as I go. I make up a strategy that I see will work for you using some principles of sales and conversion and strategies from business world, but to your unique self. Because we're not able to put old business templates to a new world where everyone is making it up. Are people today being paid just to make Pinterest boards? Like, what? Like, how is this a career? There are people that are just talking about their dogs and making hundreds of thousands in sponsorship. It's a world we get to design today and create today when we truly author it and honor it and understand the place we choose to have in it. Because it's no longer about your education or access or how you grew up. And here I want to put a nuance here, which is there's an access, there's a lens access, there's a lens gap where if you can't see it, you can't build it. And so there is sometimes limitation we perceive because we don't have access to them yet in our perception. We haven't seen it around us, so we haven't seen it within us. But once we remove those lenses of limitation, we can just make it up. And so there are 3 things I want to ask you here. If you're really, really ready to not be invisible anymore. And one, it's if it's all made up, what do you want to make up? Like, what would you want to be known for if it was completely up to you and you could just do something fun that you love, that doesn't cost you energy, that doesn't cost you time? How could you create content in a way that doesn't cost you any energy? And I've asked myself this many times in my last 9 years of being online. What is that I want to do? How do I want to create content in a way that doesn't cost me energy? And I've tested, and it's good to experiment, it's good to test. And it's not like there's anything wrong with having hooks and formats, but it's just the reality is if you're someone that speaks and channels in real time or speaks intuitively and already has this embodied wisdom that you know and you're just transmitting it, some templates will be really hardcore for you. If you're a visual person and you're forcing yourself to write, it's going to be hard. If you're someone that loves to edit and you're trying to do one take It's not going to work for you. There are as many ways to create as there are humans on this planet. And if content creation feels like friction right now, I can guarantee it's because you accidentally picked up on patterns or rules. Always, for sure. Like even this morning I was thinking about it, like who told us like YouTube is like once or three times a week? If I was honest with myself, I would probably make 3 YouTube videos a day. Just talking like this. Because I have a lot to say. And it doesn't cost me any energy. Like what I'm doing right now, this is all unscripted. I'm 10 minutes 43 seconds in. I won't cut anything, and it doesn't cost me any energy because I could speak all day about what I believe in, about finding your power, finding your voice, growing a business in a way that's sustainable, but also made up with your own rules, right? I made up rules for myself that I adore in my business. I don't take calls in the morning. I have my first client after 2 p.m. Like, how great is that? If I had told my 16-year-old self that in the future she would wake up on a Greek island, I'm from Canada, would wake up on a Greek island, drink her coffee, make her breakfast, sometimes watch a cozy show or read a book or listen to music or listen to a podcast or listen to the birds chirping outside, take an hour long walk with no pressure to be anywhere, take a dip in crystal blue water, write ideas on paper, have business meeting with her beautiful co-founder and partner that she loves, and then have incredible women from around the world meeting her in the afternoon to grow their business their own unique way, unscripted, the feminine way, with their intuition and their gifts and their voice. I would have been like, what? This is allowed, right? Because I one day decided I wasn't working in the morning with clients. And I was only meeting a set amount of clients a day. And so for that, I had to also work on my self worth so that I could raise my prices, so that I could speak to people that actually can receive what I have to give them. Because pricing is also made up, but it's also a filter, right? If I work with an absolute beginner that never ever created anything, they won't be able to receive everything I can give them in an hour. They would benefit a lot from my courses, from a group program, but one on one, they might not get all the value someone that is a bit more advanced in their business would get. Because we can only receive as far as we are in our journey. And I always love to think about a music lesson, right, or a chef. If you're teaching a person that never cooked how to cook, even if you're a Michelin star chef, you won't be able to pick up on your unique little design elements on the plate because they're just still trying to figure out how to boil pasta water. And so there's nothing wrong with that. It's not a question of, um, you know, being unavailable for certain people. It's a question of limiting access, knowing how much people can receive with where they're at in their journey. And that's why there is so much power in learning your worth and your pricing and the clients that can actually see you and receive from you. If your clients are burning you out right now, it most likely is because they're not the right clients. Because your dream clients feel like friends and it feels like such a blissful energy exchange between you and them. Like it's so cozy. And your pricing, same thing. If it feels like it's costing you money to work, something is a little off, right? It should feel like you're able to receive too. The women that are falling out of scope, over giving, overworking, working themselves thin until they finally deliver the project, oftentimes it's a self-worth question, right? Part of you isn't fully ready to receive. So you can't sit with the abundance you're being given. You kind of give it all away back in the project. And that's what I'm obsessed with, like all these little nuances of business. Like business is not a business journey. it's a it's a place where we get to design our whole world for ourselves and for the clients we invite in working with us. We get to share something and also support things we believe in or not, not believe in. In a way, if I'm refusing to use hooks and if I'm refusing to use a bunch of things, I'm giving permission to hundreds of thousands of women to also say, you know what? Yeah, like I will hire somebody that doesn't have a hook. Of course, I'm not saying, don't don't use a window light to light up your video and don't learn how to speak on camera. All these things are important. You pick them up as you go. There's a lot of business technical things that you pick up as you go, and these are important foundations to know because any instrument, any game has some foundational rules that are helpful to know the game you play, right? If you play the game of content, some of the rules are helpful, But there's a moments where those rules become your Bible and you're following them too closely and you lost your own authorship in this, right? And so learn the rule of the game, but then learn how to write your own game within the game, if that makes sense. And the women that I work with, they are authoring their own game. They choose new ways to lead that inspire many more women to lead differently. And that's what I want to see more of, right? I don't want to see women exhausted, overworking. What is this even 40-hour a week or 80-hour a week or 24/7 in entrepreneurship, as people like to say? Why? Who decided that? I don't want that. Mm-mm. I don't want to work so hard. Actually, I love what I do. I love to do what I do with the people that I love to do what I do with. But there needs to be a conscious awareness on everything I choose to do every day is to put some rules or write new rules in my business, right? And if you're building a brand, I want you to just start questioning, why do I do what I do the way that I do it, right? Is there a reason you're posting this amount of time? Is it even aligned with your natural creative flow? Is there a reason you're trying all these things aside from trying to blow up? Because all of this trying energy isn't getting you anywhere. Start leading with certainty. This is the way that I love to create content. And that's why I show up consistently. These are the people I love to be surrounded with. And that's why I create something that speaks to them. This is the way I like to be known. And that's why I speak about those things. I believe in something and I stand behind it. And for me, I believe that women get to create beautiful lives that are full and creative and stunning, and work with incredible clients and be paid really, really well for the decades of wisdom they have or the years of expertise they've gathered in a unique thing that they're obsessed with. Because when you're obsessed with something, you naturally become good at it. I'm obsessed with business energetics and mindset, women empowerment, and the little tiny thing that make conversion happen, that make people make the buying decision in companies, in products and offers. I think this is so fascinating. I've always loved sales because it's just communication, right, at its essence. And that's why I got really good at it. So whatever you feel force around right now, whatever you feel friction around right now, it's time to cut through the noise. It's time to declutter this whole thing and go back to your voice, go back to your truth, go back to your own channel of creation. I opened up yesterday my 7-day business energy clearing as a free program in my business offerings. So if this video resonated with you and you're thinking, yeah, I'm stuck in the clutter right now, I got way too noisy, kind of lost my voice in the plot of my business in between everyone's opinion and everyone's strategy. This is a 7-day guided journey with me where I guide you to explore what needs to be cut away, what needs to be released, what needs to be cut out of your business, what needs to stay, and how you can design your business and your life your way, not someone else's way, not even my way. Maybe you don't want to wake up on an island. It's in the description below, so feel free to join me in for 7 days of guided coaching, immersion with me on being honest about the kind of business you really want to lead. And yeah, I'll see you next time.